Hello guys, we should be on live from the trading room, so hi everyone. Let me know if the sound is good and if you see me. And yeah, as usual, we start at 9 a.m. Eastern time, which is 4 p.m. my time. So yeah, Metalhead, we already started, so I try to be on time. Yeah, and let me know guys on the chat from where you're from, if you're a trader with the 5ers or not. And of course, as usual, if you have any questions on the chat, if you want to discuss about any assets, any pairs, gold, S&P, whatever you want, ask on the chat. I like to have interactive session with you guys. And today, as usual on Wednesday, we try to talk about managing the trades. We will try to make some scalp during the session. I actually don't have any open position. But we will try to find any spot together and manage the position. Also, I would like to remind that the trades I'm taking and I will take and the analysis I'm doing is only from an educational purposes, guys. So again, be careful with the with trading. Have a good risk management on your side. And yes, so what I will do is only from educational purposes, and it's only my view how I see the market, and you can have different view about the market and what I'm doing. So but still, that's good to share the thoughts together. Okay, so we have from Italy. We have a lot of traders from Italy, so that's nice. Poland and New York City, great. So we have some traders from the 5ers here, so I highly appreciate. Okay, let's move directly into MT5. We tried to get some spot. I look at gold earlier today. Yesterday, the market on gold relaxed a little bit after the push. Today there is again not there is no spot for me on gold, but yeah, we will try to find on the pound, on the euro, and probably at the S&P at the opening. I would like to remind guys today in 1 hour there is the PMI news. So in 1 hour, be ready for news in the dollar that can actually move the market. So yeah, let's dig into MT5 right now. Okay, so this is gold. As you see, guys, here on the daily chart, the market went up. And we discussed about it on Monday during the weekly forecast. The market, you see, react well to this level here at exactly at the very accurate point on the H4 on the daily chart. Is quite awesome to see like that a returning candle. You see all the market from here to here was very bearish, and here attract some buyers. Here yesterday we had a retracement, but still today the market here give a bounce mainly to this support zone from last week, and then the market will probably continue making new high. But again, probably you know guys my view that I have on gold. I'm bullish on gold. I still believe that gold is a safe asset, one of the main important one in the world. And yes, in the long term, gold can only be more expensive. So this is a big time scale, but again, when the market went down on the daily chart from let's say 17%, so there is a buying opportunity in the time scale if you want to add into your portfolio. But on a daily basis, as a day trader or even scalper here, at this point there is nothing to do yet. Okay, so let maybe wait to the opening to see if there is a higher movement, but here highly difficult to make any decision as we are in the middle of the range. We are close to the top, so yeah, I will not enter here. Talking about the S&P, we should still be careful to this how we are on the S&P. Okay, this is a key zone. We see yesterday that the market react to that spot already. We see that on the H1. Let me put this a bit bigger. So you see on the H1 the market had actually first top, second top, triple top here, and still the market tried to make a bounce, and the market is on a consolidation again. It will be very linked to what the dollar is doing. I think we had a bounce in the dollar earlier. We will put also the dollar index chart, but from that point, okay, here on the S&P, I already explained that the market went and switched from a bearish momentum to a neutral momentum. I don't think that from this point we are in a bullish momentum and everything is okay. We're going to make a new high very soon. No, I still believe that the market will, consolidate, make some ups and down, and we will be like in a neutral environment. So that's why here it might be a sell spot, very interesting, on the M30 chart, H1 chart also, H4 chart, but it's more on the M30. Okay, actually we are in the middle of the range. Like, guys, I don't like to make any things at the middle of the range. I will wait an extreme point. It would be maybe the top or maybe the bottom. But I will try to catch the top of the range to make a sell at it also, a daily spot, a key zone, a daily key zone, also weekly key zone. So yeah, I would wait a little bit more for that. Nasdaq, I think it's quite the same. On the Nasdaq, let me put the templates. Yeah, on the Nasdaq, you see it's the same. The same setup. The Nasdaq is a bit more volatile, but the setup is the same. You have a support at the bottom. You have a double top here. Yeah, the fact in the Nasdaq that the market already bounced over this zone, which was this zone on the S&P. Okay, so on the S&P we are actually at that point. On the Nasdaq we just go over. That's why actually if I want to do something, it would be either on the S&P, as the risk will be a bit lower. But yeah, H4 chart, sell point. You can also try to build your position. Okay, in the H4 chart, we see that it can be on the S&P in the H4 chart. You see, guys, that on the daily chart it's top to this spot already. Stochastics is above 80. You see overextended movement in that spot. The market probably will give a dance maybe to this zone here. And then maybe from here we'll continue. Okay, we don't know, but retracement, that will likely have to happen. So there is two spots you can do. You can actually build your position, so actually starting to make some sell here and make another sell limit at the top, or you can, if you want to maximize your risk reward, wait for the top of the range and then execute a trade. Let's check the pound. The euro is quite very complicated to. Again, it can be here an interesting scalp to make. Maybe we have this type on the M5. Okay, yeah. If we go to the higher time frame, we see that the market bounce exactly at the trend line. Okay, you see the market make all the time. Let me remove this guy. Okay. Okay, so on the H4 chart, you see clearly that the market is making an higher low all the time. Here we are starting to create head and shoulders, but again, I think this might be some good spot to make some buy. Here we still continue with the trend. The fact is that the dollar index bounced up. If I want to show you the dollar index, okay, this is the 8-hour chart. I generally don't look at that, but the screen is a bit tiny. Maybe on the daily chart we can also see that. Okay, so this is the daily chart. You see trend line on the dollar index. Dollar is very strong recently, and here on the trend line, especially at this key zone, which was a demand here, it was a resistance before, create a support. The market react strongly, okay, to that spot, and the market will retest again the breakout. We already had a retest at that spot, so that's interesting. You see the market last week support here, breakout, make a retest first time, touch the demand spot here, and again the market open, especially at that resistance, move down, and actually the market is starting to push again to make another test. So as usual, I'm still having the dollar index on the chart. Here it looks like the market gonna have a retest to that spot. Maybe gonna be a sell opportunity at that zone on the euro dollar, on the pound. Yeah, here for a short scalp, guys, it might be interesting to make a scalp at that spot. Okay. So this is a short scalp, okay? I have my indicators here. The Bollinger Bands here below 20 starting to cross. So it's stochastics crossed below 20. Bollinger Bands is at the bottom of the range, and we are actually on the M1, M5 chart. You see small support here that also react to that point. So actually it's bends ups and downs. So I expect again another movement on the upside a little bit to react from that area here. So yeah, Sergio, that's correct. That's correct. The trend line, when it touch already a lot of time with pin bar, it here attracts a lot of buyers, and the more we touch the trend line, the more it's likely to break. And I agree with that. Okay, we have a few pips to go. If not the market, I will probably put the stop loss below this low here. Probably make another buy to that spot in order to scale in my position. How you identify a retest? Generally, a retest is when the market breaks out and we test exactly the spot and the zone. I will try to show you again on the dollar index what is a break and retest. Yeah, the higher trend line, maybe I could add here a little bit to scale in my position. The market touch this point. You see, it's a short scalp. Okay, I don't take a lot of risk here. If I want a bigger opportunity, it will be to buy, especially at that point again. Yeah, actually here it don't goes on my way, so that's why I put my stop loss very tight. I could probably buy again when the market will, you know, reach the trend line another time. Whatever we will see. I'm still on position. Yeah, I will try to show you how we identify retest. What happened on the euro dollar? Yeah, the euro dollar breaked out. Okay, so if you want to identify a retest, for example, here on the euro dollar, this was, let's say this was a key zone. It's an M5, but let's say this was a key zone. You see the market touch multiple times this spot. So the market breaked out. So you see this zone is not relevant anymore. So the market breaked out down. When the market will go back, especially to that point here, okay, here, for example, the market will retest the zone it breaked before. Okay, so this is the retest point. And generally, most of the time, the market reacts well to this type of spot. Okay, and sometimes it could be no retest. Okay, like for here, if the market goes straight here, you don't have a retest. Okay, but when there is a retest, like on the dollar index we see just before, it can have a reaction. I just want to show you here. It's quite the same. It was a huge zone here. The market breaked out. You see the market. This was a support zone. The market breaked out, and today, I think it was, yeah, it was today. The market retest here, pushed down. Actually, we pushed a little bit up. But this is exactly how the retest work. Okay, so hold this line, retest, we move a little bit down. I can't pass the link. Good example on USD CHF. Maybe you have a question, Sergio. I can find the dollar CHF on the overnight. Try to. Yeah, on the dollar CHF we had this huge trend line. I think it was a channel, and then we break this channel to the upside. And yes, exactly. This is quite more advanced, okay, because the market breaks out on the trend line and we test the trend line. If this is what you see, but here, for example, on the dollar CHF, the retest didn't work. For example, here it was a support line, a huge zone. We might still be in the zone, okay? It's a huge zone, but the market is strong here. It's like a fake out that we have here. Okay, it looks like a fake out. Okay, the market bottom one time, two time. Here the market goes deeper and then continue. It's probably a fake out, and we see also clearly in the stochastics here that's starting to cross. Oh, this is interesting here. Huge movement. It was a nice spot as well. Yeah, we will likely go to my stop loss on the pound. Maybe even not. Maybe we can react to that pin bar, but no, I have very lot doped here. Yeah, the entry is not the best. The execution was not the best here on the pound. Should be maybe wait for taking this trend line instead of getting stop loss here on the next 2 minutes. Also here there is a point when the market can bounce, but again, my execution was not good at all. So I prefer to take the loss here. Okay, on the pawn I'm out. What's happening on the dollar index? Probably push. We'll put it on the left screen. I will try to have another spot for the next of the session. In the euro dollar, there is no spot at all. Yeah, the dollar index is pushing. Okay, so you see the dollar here is a bit getting stronger on the short time scale. Let's see if the market can rebound. Actually, we start the next another retest. So it might have a sell spot for me in the next. I hope the next few minutes. I'm just showing you the chart, guys. Here, especially at that spot, the market can, you see, give a dip maybe to 106. So yeah, I should wait a little bit before opening a new. Yeah, we should break out on the upside, but again, when you scalp, okay, you first of all, you want to attract the extreme point, okay? You will never buy or sell in the middle of the range. That's why I scalp, definitely. And yes, if you go to like the H4, maybe we will break out after a few hours. But when the market reach this type of spot and there is no news, or I don't know, there is you see, when you see the market start to consolidate, you will probably enter a sell, for example, and the stop loss would be very tight. So again, the risk reward would be in your favor in that case. Yeah, I just want to maybe. Okay, so for example, here in the M15, okay, the market can again start a retest here and bounce maybe to the. It will not like have a huge dip, okay? Maybe we will just retest the lower range or in the middle, and then after the retest, again the market can break out. Okay, but I'm looking for the short dip here because the market approach an extreme zone. That's it. Okay, I don't want to expect to break out or not. Generally, we don't know if the market will break out exactly here, and another things, I will not sell here, for example, in the pound when I see that the market is on a huge bullish trend. Okay, and I will not also sell when the market make a breakout. Okay, I want to go with the trend all the time, and if it's like just before the market didn't go on my way, I would be okay to take a stop loss. That's all, and this is all I'm looking the market. Yeah, but let's continue to look the dollar index here. It's continue to push, and we're gonna wait maybe the good moment to react. And on 5 minutes we have the opening also on the indices, so we're gonna see what's the sentiment in the market. But actually the market is you see very on a range, very flat. We are in the middle of the range. maybe we can have like a huge dip in the bottom, or I hope we can have a push to that spot. And this is probably the spot where I will open a sell with a tight stop loss. Okay, that may be also my opinion for today. Buying and selling the extreme. Yeah, that's what I'm doing all the time. Like, if you have a bigger time scale, let's say if you go to the H4, for example, or on the daily, this is an extreme point. But if you go to the M15 or M30, you see you are exactly at the middle of the range. And either buying or selling, it's like, 50-50. You want to put the chance in your side. So again, I prefer to wait the market to be on an extreme point. The risk reward would be better, and again, on the long term, it will be highly successful for you if you know how to manage the risk and how much lots you should allocate and what's the volume you should take for each position. But I will never sell here, for example. Okay, maybe some traders will be okay to sell and expect a breakout, but I don't want to expect the market. I just want to react when the market approach interesting zone. Again, the market, you see, starting to stop on M1. It is not strong enough. Let's find a spot. Maybe on the yen there is a spot for today. Okay. Here on the yen there is a huge head and shoulders. Okay, you have the shoulders here, and the second one here, and you have the head here at the bottom. So it can likely explode, but again the neckline is here. So in my opinion, head and shoulders, you want to make the buy maybe here, for example. You want to expect the market will have head and shoulders. And in my opinion, and how I see the market, I will not buy after the breakout. You see, you have a lot of educators that will tell you, okay, this is an head and shoulders. If the market breaks out, so you're gonna make a buy here. Okay, but the fact is, what's happening is that the market will have, so you will buy after the breakout. Okay, then the market will reach, for example, this supply, and then the market going to go straight away into your stop loss. Okay, and this is what I look for. Okay, maybe we have some spot here. Probably starting to scale my position. We already have a reaction. And I start a little bit smaller than before. Okay, I start with 0.25, and I would wait if the market goes a bit lower. Maybe on the euro, I could take the same scenario. The market already pushed on the euro. Okay, the market opens on the S&P. Let's look what's happening. Meanwhile, I see that the dollar index starts to push down. Oh, okay. And a huge movement. Okay, I'm gonna make another buy here as the market is starting to push. Probably make those spots. Okay, yeah, the S&P is pushing. And generally, I already explained this fact Monday on the weekly forecast. Especially during this period, the market, the dollar, for example, is negatively correlated with the S&P because of the risk on and risk off environment. Okay, so when you will see the stock market pushing up, you will see the dollar most of all starting to depreciate. Okay, again, it's not working 100% time, but there is a negative correlation. And I believe that if we see again the S&P touching the top here, we're also gonna see the dollar index pushing down, and probably the pound dollar pushing a little bit up from here. Yeah, I don't want to be overexposed as the dollar index didn't go to the top of the range, but on what I'm looking here on the M5, for example, you see on the M5 the market here already starting to retrace a little bit this spot. Okay, so this is only M5 minutes, and if I go to the M15, I would prefer to wait the top of the range, which would be the retest. So that's why I don't want to go full exposure, especially at that spot, but I want to wait at the market maybe to break out and heading in at the top. Yeah, my execution is not the best, but again, it's few pips. It's not not a big deal. Yeah, this looks bearish, but didn't break out yet. So we have these two doji here on the H4 chart. But again, it's H4. I'm looking for you see M15 or either smaller time frame. Yeah, maybe I could hedge a bit on the euro. I starting to push a little bit better. Yeah, S&P is pushing. That should be good for the dollar a little bit here, in my opinion. Just hedge a little bit on the euro. Yeah, I like this type of movement in the M1. You see, market stopped, consolidate, ups and down. We should be patient. We don't be like, oh, closing before, and hope the market could continue a little bit this movement. But again, it's, you see, when the S&P pushed up, dollar index is down. Of course, it's a short time frame, but the market expect this type of movement. And then we're gonna see if the market can have another leg up. Or not. Okay, but when I start to see this type of movement, this is quite good. Again, my execution on the pawn is not the best, as I opened at the top of this box in the M1. But again, we expect to have a higher movement, so this is not should be okay. Again, I will try to be focused on the S&P as well. If we can see the market touching the top of the range here and probably execute a sell. But actually, again, here we are not. We are approaching the top, but again, quite on the middle. Yeah, the market is highly correlated. What chart are you looking at? I don't know which chart you talked about, but I have on the left screen this chart, which is a dollar index. So that's what I'm looking for most of the time. And here it's the euro dollar, here it's the pound dollar, and I'm also looking at the S&P. So that's the things I'm looking for. Yeah. Yeah, Nasdaq is losing a little bit momentum on the M1, but yeah, that's interesting. Nasdaq already pushed to the top here. This might be the better spot for the day instead of the S&P. The S&P might be pushing a little bit more. But again, we generally Nasdaq is much more volatile, so we can have a breakout on the Nasdaq, and when the market on the S&P we reach to the top, we're going to see maybe a lower leg, but yeah. Looks like the dollar is a stronger bit today. Probably get out on the euro. I could have a scalp here to hedge a little bit my dollar position. This might be interesting to have a scalp here, just to hedge the dollar position that I have against me. Euro is pushing up from here again. The M1. Quite struggling today, guys. Will not lie. Be complicated. That's good that I opened this type of hedge in the Nasdaq. Okay, generally when the stock market is pushing down, the dollar index is doing the opposite. Not always, but that's a good edge. Yeah, the Nasdaq is pushing down very well. Good job on the thanks for the spot. I don't think yeah, Maurizio. Good job for the spot. This was a very nice spot. Extreme point like I like to see. I was looking at the S&P instead, but yeah, here it's quite the good scalp you can have on a daily basis. Yeah, we can start to exit a little bit. We will wait a little bit more. The market is losing momentum very highly. Yeah, I think it's a good scalp here already. Yeah, okay, that's good. That's a good point. Good job. So this is the type of scalp I'm looking for, guys. You know, this type of pattern when you are exactly at the extreme zone. You see the risk reward here was interesting. Okay, I could also like close half, whatever, but I have another big exposure on the dollar, so I don't want to be overexposed. But yeah, here it was interesting spot to get in. And again, if the market here continue to go on the other side, the dollar will go in my way. And this is actually what S&P starting to push up a little bit from here. We came back in the green. $1 starting to break this structure on the M1. It's quite a good candle on the M5, but we should close above. That's what the market's starting to do. Perfect. Okay. I could already remove my stop loss to break even. Not to break even, but below that consolidation zone, which for me should be the switch above, but the candle should close above. And then we should look the S&P here, maybe pushing a little bit up. Yeah. Not sure it's going down anymore. Yeah, but that's definitely the type of spot I'm looking for. Okay. On M1, you see the market losing momentum, and then you close here at the middle of the Bollinger Bands. I think I exit the market quite well here. For the moment, okay, the market can still continue to go down, but this was to hedge the position meanwhile. Yeah, so we can have here breakout or another test. A lot of things can happening. Okay, nice. And the Nasdaq is pushing. Again, I can again open another sell to hedge the position, but the difference from before is that I had losing position in the dollar, and it was for hedging. Actually, the market is going into my side, so I don't want to again. It's behaving the same. We're behaving the same. Anyway, guys, we approach the end of the session, so I should close soon the stream. Of course, I will continue monitoring the market and be careful. I think in 8 minutes there is the PMI, so I might maybe reduce my exposure before. Maybe it will touch the stop loss before. I don't know. But yeah, let's hope for the good. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for this amazing session. Quite struggling today. It was not easy, but you know, when you have a strict risk management and you know how to open the market, you have to expect sometimes it can get your stop loss, and sometimes the market goes your way and then not, and then you find another hedge, for example on the Nasdaq that we found. But I'm an active trader. I know that there are some traders that prefer to make some swing trades and wait, but I likely enjoy to make, you know, being very active in the market and know everything what's going on in almost all the assets. Of course, I'm managing a swing portfolio, but having a day trade, it's much more, you know, entertaining, and you have your mind should be all the time in focus. So I like to be also in this type of spot. So yeah, thank you guys for being with me until the end of the session. Thanks for the people that interact with me. Mauricio, thank you. Metalhead, thank you. Eduardo as well. Yeah, I think that I'll try to answer some questions before. I think I missed the Eduardo questions. Yeah, Eduardo, I'm agree with you, and that's what I explained at the beginning. There is a negative correlation. That's what we see recently, negative correlation between the dollar and the stock market, but it's because of the risk on and risk off environment. The dollar is known as a safe asset, most likely, but you know, there is a huge inflation as well, so that's why the dollar is appreciating. A lot of stuff together, but I agree with that point. Again, thank you guys. Thank you for being with me today. Let's meet on Monday as usual. We make the weekly forecast. We talk about the overall economy and we try to find some key zone for the week. So yeah, high five guys and see you. Good luck for trading.